Hi guys, and welcome to Geometry. This is lesson 6 on page 65 of your workbook. Guys, the first thing we're going to do in this geometry lesson is revise some of the concepts that you should be familiar with by now. Now, something that you hopefully all know, this is a very important concept, is the concept of lines and angles. We know that when we have angles on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees, and we call that adjacent supplementary angle. So, for example, if I have a straight line and if I call this angle A1 and A2, then A1, we use that sign to show an angle, angle A1 plus angle A2 is equal to 180 degrees, and we refer to this concept as adjacent supplementary angles. Supplementary just means that the angles add up to 180 degrees. So angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees, concept that you would have seen over and over again. The next thing we need to look at is angles around a point. And you will all remember that angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. So, for example, if that's my point in the center, if I have angles A, B, C, and D, that's called a revolution, and we know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degrees. Another important concept that you get when you have two lines intersecting is the concept of vertically opposite angles. So using the same diagram, we can revise the concept of vertically opposite angles. And vertically opposite angles are equal. So for example, in my drawing, angle A would be equal to angle C. Since these are directly opposite each other, they are vertically opposite each other, and angle D would be equal to angle B for the same reason. They are vertically opposite each other. So angle A is equal to angle C, and angle B is equal to angle D, because those are vertically opposite angles. Now, the other very important concept is that we get very special angles being formed when we have two sets of parallel lines. So let's revise that. Some of you will remember this as the fun diagram. So this is for parallel lines. Okay, remember we use those two arrows on the parallel straight line to show that they're parallel. So for parallel lines, we get special types of angles being formed. Let's draw them. We have F, and then we get our fun diagram, and all of these gives us special types of angles with special properties. Whenever we indicate parallel lines, we always put in the two arrows to show which pairs of lines are parallel. That's important. Whenever you're describing your equal angles, you need to state which pair of lines are parallel. So if we call that A, B, C, D, and we'll name all of them in the same way. So for this diagram, if AB is parallel to CD, then the first type of angles that we get from the F shape are called corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. That's the one that you need to remember. And then the next type of shape, which is the U or the C shape, you will get co-interior angles. And co-interior angles are supplementary. So these angles are not equal to each other. They actually add up to 180 degrees. So co-interior angles are supplementary. Remember, supplementary means that they add up to 180 degrees. And then the last one is the alternate angles, which you get formed with your Z shape or your N shape, however you choose to see it. And the angle on either side of the transversal there is equal. So alternate angles are equal. Okay, and that's just some of the basic concepts involving lines and angles that you need to be familiar with in order to do the later, maybe more tricky geometry questions.